Hey everybody. So we had a pretty interesting free agent signing today. Kevin Shattenkirk, who was just bought out by the New York Rangers, has signed a 1-year deal with the Tampa Bay Lightning worth $1.75 million. So this to me is a very interesting deal given the fact that Tampa Bay is one of those teams that is in real tight salary cap trouble. That I really did not expect them to go out and make a move like this, especially with Braden Point not signed. Now, Tampa Bay has been up against the cap now for the last couple of years, but they're really putting themselves in salary cap hell at this point. And we knew that there were going to be moves needed to be made. They traded away J.T. Miller. They traded Ryan Callahan's contract off, although Callahan's probably all done as far as playing hockey. But they did dump his salary, which was a good thing for them, although he was going to end up on LTIR anyway. Right now, according to Cap Friendly, the Tampa Bay Lightning have a projected cap space of $9.3 million. And now that seems like a lot. Over $9 million cap space? What do you mean they're in salary cap hell? Well, Braden Point is not yet signed. Braden Point is 23 and had a 90-plus point season last year. He is going to command $9+ million if he's going to sign a long-term contract. Now, if they do a bridge deal with him, maybe he takes a little less than that. But I would think if he's going to sign a long-term 7 or 8 year deal with the Lightning, it's going to be $9+ million. So there goes all your cap space in one player. They also do not have Adam Ernie re-signed either, but he's a fourth-line guy and not going to command all that much money. The interesting thing at this point with Tampa Bay is that they could sign Point at $9 million per year and still be under the salary cap for this season. So Tampa Bay is not completely screwed cap-wise for this season. The problem comes next season at this point, and they would certainly have to make more moves because after this coming season, they would then have Anthony Cirelli, who would be an RFA, Matthew Joseph would be an RFA, Eric Chernak would be an RFA, and Mikhail Sergachev will be an RFA. So there are 4 major RFAs for next summer, as well as Andrei Vasilevsky's new extension kicks in for next season, the 2020 season, where his salary goes from $3.5 million to $9.5 million. So that is another $6 million off of the cap. So Tampa Bay is in a cap situation where they can squeeze by for this season and be okay. However, they are absolutely screwed come 2020 in the current situation that they're in because they would not have nearly enough money to sign all 4 of those important RFAs who are coming up after this season. Luckily, this Shattenkirk deal is only a 1-year deal, which means that it is off the books after this year. And I would assume that he certainly would not be back with Tampa Bay. This certainly to me seems like a 1-year thing. And Shattenkirk certainly does make this team's defense better. Now, he's obviously had a real rough go of it the last 2 years, but we know the player that Kevin Shattenkirk can be. If he goes back to being St. Louis Blues Kevin Shattenkirk, he is an absolute steal for the Lightning at under $2 million per year. If he has the problems that he has the past couple of seasons, maybe it doesn't work out, but he is playing on a much better team in Tampa Bay now than he was with the Rangers for the last couple of years. And Shattenkirk certainly, for a team that lost Dan Girardi and Anton Strawman this offseason, Shattenkirk doesn't necessarily completely make up for losing those two, but he does bring a nice veteran presence into that top 4 that really took a hit this offseason because of the salary cap troubles. So bringing Shattenkirk in, I think, is a good short-term move for the Lightning. But given their salary cap situation, this is absolutely a 1-year thing. And even then, they're still not in good shape salary cap-wise. Luckily, this is only a 1-year deal, so they can get out of it after this season. So now your top three defense in Tampa Bay are Hedman, McDonough, and Shattenkirk. That's a pretty darn good top three. Then you have Sergachev and Chernak, who are both very solid young defensemen, both 22 or younger. And then you have veteran guys like Braden Coburn, Luke Shen, and Jan Reuter, Luke Witkowski to fill out the depth of the defense. So I think, honestly, bringing in McDonough really does help this Tampa Bay team defensively. He is a nice add to their top four to really solidify those top two pairs. However, money-wise, it's a good thing that this is a one-year deal, and I'm a little surprised that they would do this with Point not yet signed, because the number one thing for Tampa Bay at this juncture has got to be signing Braden Point. I mean, he is a 23-year-old superstar center you cannot let him go. So I got to think that that's their next move, and I'm a little surprised that they made this move without having Point locked up yet. But again, we'll see what happens. Tampa is still a team that needs to dump salary. If maybe not for this season, they may have been able to squeak out just enough cap room for this season, but for the future going forward, they still need to dump salary. And you're going to see the usual suspects as far as Tampa Bay trade rumors still going on for until something happens. Andre Palat at $5.3 million for the next 3 seasons. Tyler Johnson at $5 million for the next 5 seasons. Alex Killorn at $4.45 million for the next 4 seasons. Those are big contracts that they are going to try to move at least one of them to open up some cap space. The problem is that all 3 of those guys have no trade clauses, so they would have to agree to the deal, and it would limit the number of teams that you would be able to deal them to, because they would have to approve the trade. I do not envy Tampa Bay's management situation at all. Julien Brisebois has quite the cap crunch on his hand for, if not this season, at least next season. And with these young RFAs that I'm sure most of whom they're going to want to keep, it's quite the situation going on in Tampa Bay, salary cap money-wise. And let me tell you, that extension for Andrei Vasilevskiy, taking $6 million off the cap for 2020-2021, a $6 million raise per season for him, that's going to be tough to work around. Now, they had to do it. They absolutely had to do it. Because he is their franchise goaltender. But that is going to be tough to work around money-wise, and I think we're going to see Tampa have to make moves this season, next off-season, and throughout the future just to make all of this work money-wise. But they have signed Kevin Shattenkirk in what I think is a very good short-term deal for them and makes their team better. It's just an interesting move given the cap situation and given the fact that Braden Point is not signed for this coming year yet. He's got to be their top priority at this point. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the comment section below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. We are on a road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you can help get us there in any way, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.